Hello everyone, I'm Shima and welcome back to my channel. So if you have been watching my previous video, I did a review on Etchr Lab papers and I decided to go and get one of their sketchbooks for watercolor, and for today's video I'm going to make a cover for it. I'm so excited for this one. I'm going to use acrylics and hope you guys will enjoy this video as well. So here the Etchr Lab sketchbook, it's watercolor paper, 230 grams. So I decided to put gesso on it and I already did the drawing. So I'm just going to erase the pencils because when you mix your colors, it's just gonna sometimes mix with the colors and make it a little bit dirty. This one is an acrylic medium. I use it to make the acrylics dry slower. It just helps you to save your paints on your palette, and it gives you a little bit of time to work with your colors more patiently. So I'm mixing the colors. I always like to do a base layer, and then after that I'm going to add the details later on. If you have been working with acrylics, you know that they dry so fast and the blending is a little bit challenging if you want to make it very smooth. So that's why I always have to add a little bit of water, or as I show you, these mediums. When I first bought acrylics, I was excited to try these because I thought that they're not like oil painting, they dry faster and they're easier to work with. But my first try was actually a disaster. I was like, what is this? I cannot work with this medium. It's so hard because it gets dry so fast. You always have to be careful about your brushes because if the color just stick to a brush and if you don't remove it, it's just going to stay there and it's going to get it hard. And also the color mixing was a little bit challenging for me because, as I said, it gets dry so fast and you're gonna waste a lot of colors if you put too much color on your palette. So that's why, as you can see, I just put a small amount of colors because I'm worried that they're going to get dry and you're gonna lose a lot of your colors. So the reason I put gesso on top of this sketchbook is that most of the times when you want to work, for example, with oil or acrylics, you always need a layer of gesso under that. It makes it less absorbent. The colors stay on top of the canvas or whatever that you're using. So it's really necessary when you work with acrylics or oil paintings to put a layer of gesso. So there are different types of gessos. You can add black gesso, white gesso, and sometimes clear gesso. For example, sometimes you're working on a wood panel and you want the color of the wood to be shown. You don't want to make it white. So you want to use the color of the canvas that you're working with. So you can use clear gesso. You can save the color of your canvas or wood panel and you can just work on your painting. So as I said before, acrylics get dry so fast. This is one of the most important things that you have to realize before working with acrylics. Maybe sometimes it's beneficial to whatever project that you're working with, or sometimes it can be challenging because, as I said, you have to always be careful, you have to always act fast. And some of the artists already master it. I'm still learning acrylics and it's still challenging for me sometimes to work with it, but the good thing is it dries so fast and it can be a benefit, because if you don't like a part of your painting or you made a mistake, you can just wait for it to get dry and put another layer. But you have to be careful because it's really thick. If you put too much layers, it's just going to get a little bit ugly and your colors are just gonna look like plastic. So as you can see, I'm just adding the details. I already put the underpainting layers that I wanted. So I'm just adding the details, adding the shadows, the highlights, give it a little bit of more of a contrast, and always use your finger. Your fingers are always the best tool for, blending and getting the results that you want. So adding the highlights is always interesting for me because it just makes your painting come to life. The contrast will just make your painting more beautiful, and this is the part of the painting that I'm always excited about, adding the highlights to my painting. So I'm working with the background, and since this is the Queen's Gambit and she's very good at playing chess, I wanted the background to have the same theme as the series. And later on, when I'm done with all this, as I said, acrylics gets dry so fast, you can easily put a varnish on top of this, so it's not gonna get dirty. If it gets dirty, you can put a wet cloth and just clean your painting. I love these markers. They're acrylic markers. They're good for details. Sometimes it's hard to add those details with brushes, so I'm using these markers. So my sketchbook cover is done, and this is the back cover. I hope you guys like this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, so I can make more of these videos and you guys can enjoy. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.